Welcome back to our community connection in Pasco County. Learning about the history and what makes each neighborhood unique is part of why we're spotlighting communities like Land O'Lakes.
And 10 Tampa Bay's Catalina Lead is live tonight at the Hub at Bexley.
So Land O'Lakes was home to one of Florida's original tourist attractions. Visitors from all over came to Dupree Gardens, which once had acres and acres of flowers. Today, only ruins of it remain, with homes sitting on top. 10 Tampa Bay's Miguel Octavio is live from Heritage Park with more on a look at the past.
Carolina, it's not very far from here. This first opened to the public in 1940. It got so popular there were flowers and even cigars that were brought to New York. And the Historic Places of Pasco County, that book, they even wrote that florists in Park, Madison, and Fifth Avenues were so impressed by it. It didn't last very long, but its memory here will be ingrained forever. Hidden in the middle of all these homes in Land O'Lakes, ruins of an old treasure with a spot easy to miss and a past easy to forget.
So it was like a bygone era, but it's beautiful to think about it.
These big gray abandoned structures are what's left of once a thriving Florida attraction. Dupree Gardens was 25 acres of pure joy. That's what the Florida Times-Union once called it in 1944. An array of fabulous flora, violets, camellia blooms, azaleas, you name it. All elegantly placed throughout never-ending patches of green.
So I can tell you that, this is very much how Land O'Lakes is.
Tomas Monzon is vice president of the West Pasco Historical Society.
They really wanted to build up this beautiful roadside attraction that people, not just roadside attraction, but people would drive out to see. And it just speaks to how much the area has changed.
The Gardens, 17 miles north of Tampa, near what was called Erin. It wasn't just a blooming display of flowers either. Visitors had the lodge, tea room, and boat rides at the lake. As many as 30,000 people would visit every season, wrote the Historic Places of Pasco County. Archives showed the late attorney J. William Dupree opened part of it to the public in 1940 after friends persuaded him. He kept it to himself, spending years planting the garden's seeds after a car accident. The timing, though, couldn't be worse.
It was bad timing. The war, they started rationing gasoline, so people said, well, we don't have the ability to just go out on pleasure drives all, this far distance away.
Gas and tire rationing from World War II restricted travel. Eventually, the site closed down. Later, there were only visits for certain events before the property got sold. What remains? This piece of limestone, the former ticket booth.
The fact that somebody took the time and decision to say, let's respect the history that happened here and, erect a historical marker and have some of the structures still there, it means that they see the value that the place had in its time.
And time sure has a way of changing this flourishing landscape. But Monzon hopes this encourages people to connect with historical roots.
You think about all the times that people before you spent time here, all the work they did to build it, the visions that they had, the memories they shared, and to me, that's just really special.
Now, wasn't that pretty to look at as well? Just amazing brochures and pictures. Glad we still have them. Now, the Gardens did play a very brief role during World War II. The Historic Places of Pasco County wrote the National Airlines president bought, get this, $250,000 in war bonds to buy camellias. Finally, in 2002, the county put a historical marker to honor Dupree Gardens. In Land O'Lakes, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay.